everyone, and welcome to a special live episode of the Present Poetry Podcast. I'm your host, Erin Crittenden, and today we are interviewing Tiriq Rashad. Tiriq Rashad is a spoken word artist who says that his work is where poetry lives in rhythm and rhythm lives in truth. That combination has earned him a reputation among the poetry community, and renowned poet Nikki Giovanni once stated that Tiriq has a vision beyond his years. His poetry is simple but expressed powerfully and viscerally captures both the universal human experience and the particular struggles of African American man today. We are honored to have him on the show. So without further ado, Mr. Rashad. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you
It's
for
a
having
great
me,
honor.
Erin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I have looked a little bit at your work and I do enjoy how you've turned spoken word into an art form that I believe resonates with a lot of people. So, that being said, how did you get into poetry?
So I started poetry when I was a kid. I would just like when I was a kid, I would have it was like an outlet to express myself when I was going through things in my neighborhood. And not even just in my neighborhood, but just personally in my household and just things that I was going through. And I would just write and write and write. And then it just started forming into like real mature poetry as I got older. But when I was a kid, I used to just write like the smallest things, like about
Mhm.
girlfriends, breakups, and just small things. But it was always an outlet for me to just kind of express myself. And I'm grateful to have that, to have had that outlet to be able to again express myself. And again, it just formed into this beautiful thing called poetry. And when I was young, I didn't think of it as poetry. I was just writing and
Mhm.
rhyming and just putting it together. And yeah, that's what I was creating.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I know personally, I also, that's how I got into it was as a coping mechanism
Yep,
for kind of processing the things that I've gone through. And the more people that I talk to who are big poets all say the same thing, it's how I cope with life. And I
absolutely.
think that's really interesting that poetry is more of a coping mechanism than, say, fiction or literature. Like, you
Absolutely.
don't hear somebody say, I wrote this book to cope. You say, I wrote a poem to cope.
Absolutely. It's an art form, right? But art form is a way of is a way to express yourself and to hash those feelings out and get all of the stuff out that you have bottled in and that you want to get out. For me, I know I didn't want to walk around just feeling heavy. And again, I didn't know that when I was younger. Like I didn't like think like, oh, I don't want to walk around feeling like that. I've always been a person to express myself. So as I got older, I realized like I didn't want to walk around burdened by all of the emotions and the hardships and everything that I had inside. I just wanted to get it out and express myself. And um, with my gift of writing that God has blessed me with, I've been able to create it in a real cool and savvy way. So, yeah.
It is really cool what you've done. Like, you have the albums out, you have the videos on YouTube. How did you get
Yeah.
into all of that? Like, how did you decide that's the direction you wanted to take your writing?
So just to honestly, just to
Moment?
piggyback up, say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, was there like a big light bulb moment or did it just happen gradually?
It just kind of naturally happened, and I've always followed like music throughout my life, hip hop and R&B, and I've always just watched music and listened to music, and I just thought it would be cool to like put some visuals along with the actual audio that I was recording. Um, and I've always been creative, so I wanted to like put different things together to make it make sense. And also, in my head, I also want to connect with people. For me, how I think is like, all right, well, in order for me to connect with people, you have to see me to know who I am, right? So,
Right.
which is why I'm on these interviews and things like that. So, in order to connect, I feel personally you have to put a face to the things that you're writing and creating and things of that nature. So, yeah, it just kind of came to me naturally, honestly, and I love the process of creating and putting the words together. And once I put the words together, actually putting visuals together and collaborating with videographers and things like that, experimenting with this, experiment with that. I'm having an idea to do this and do that. So it's pretty cool. I love the process. And then obviously, not all the time when I was coming up, but now
Right.
I love the final product.
Yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. But
No, absolutely
that's an
not.
interesting point. Like your poetry has opened the door to let you work with the videographers and the musicians and stuff. And did you ever think it was gonna be that influential in your life?
Honestly, as influential as it is right now, I didn't I didn't think of it like that, to be honest. I just thought I knew that I would connect with people, right? Because when I create, I always create again just trying to express myself, but also thinking of other people. I've always been empathetic and compassionate and thinking of other people, especially when I create. So I create talking about my experiences and my journey, but I know someone's going to connect to it. And the story that I'm telling of my own self, I'm also telling somebody else's story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know somebody else is going to connect to it. But as far as it like just being influential and things like that, I have an inspiring, motivating, encouraging story because I've been through a lot of different things to be where I'm at today. So I know in the back of my head, like I'm going to inspire somebody with my journey and my story. And ultimately, that's the goal, it's to try to inspire, to evoke some emotion when someone looks at my art, listens to my art, reads my art. I know it's going to evoke some type of emotion, um, and hopefully encourage somebody to express themselves and keep going and pushing it as well. So, yeah,
Okay. So you're saying that for you, poetry is both personal and universal. Because
personal, universal, therapeutic.
mm-hmm.
It's everything intertwined. But I know for me, when I create, it's not just about me. So I always keep that in the back of my head, like, all right. And especially where I'm at in my life right now, like what I put out, like it has to, for me, I know you know Kanye West, like, and a lot of different artists, like I'm a perfectionist right now where I'm at in my life. I can't just put something out and just throw it out and just, all right, that's cool. It has to be top tier because I'm trying to influence, I'm trying to encourage, inspire, not even influence, forget influence. I'm trying to inspire the next person to keep going. Influence comes with that, obviously, but I'm trying to inspire, I'm trying to encourage other people who aren't in my shoes, and move with gratitude, move in gratitude, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people who would die to be in my shoes to be doing the things that I'm doing. So I'm taking care of my gift and taking care of myself along the way. So.
And that makes sense. It does. Because you have to take care of that gift that has brought you so far.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
On the note of encouragement and inspiration, what would you tell a young person who would like to get into writing but doesn't know where to start?
Start.
Yeah.
Just start. Like, just write your emotions out. It's funny that you asked that, right? Because I'm in education. I work in education and everything, and I've created some and built some beautiful relationships over the years with students and even some colleagues. And one of my old colleagues, he went on to another school district, and he stumbled across this kid who was going through a lot of emotional challenges. He's been through some suicidal ideation, stuff, all of those different things like that. And the kid he wants to write. He wants to learn how to write and write poetry and just express himself in the form of writing. So my colleague, he like connected me with him, and actually we connected maybe a month and a half ago, and I've been actually talking to him as far as the process of just creating and just trying to give him a starting point. And I told him like, you got to find your reason, your reason and purpose of writing. You know what I mean? And because we can all write, we can all create. There's so many people who just write and create, but what is the purpose? What is your sole purpose of creating? You know what I mean? And I asked him what his purpose was, and he said to kind of get his emotions out. And I just said, start writing what you feel, write what you feel, write what you've been through, write about your experiences. Nobody else can tell your story better than you. You know what I mean? So that's what I would tell him. Just start with you find what your purpose is, your reason, and write from a place that you're familiar with yourself, your experiences, your trauma, your peaks and valleys, everything. You know, you can, again, no one can tell your story better than you. So start there.
And that is fantastic advice. And I know a lot of poets, myself included, like that is where we've started from is we talk or we
Mhm.
write about the things that we've been through and the things that we've experienced. And then some may branch out and go a little more fantastical, some may go a little darker, but it all stems from
Yeah,
the soul, essentially.
absolutely. Absolutely. It comes from some place. It comes from some place. And
Mhm.
you know, with somebody right, it might not connect with you, but that's okay. You know, some person is writing from a place of trauma or their experiences. So, I respect every art form, everybody who expresses themselves because it's important. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, we walk around heavy with a lot of stuff, so it's important
Mhm.
to express yourself in whatever way you feel like you need to express yourself in a positive way, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. And poetry is definitely cheaper than therapy nowadays. So,
1,000%, 1,000%. And I mean, as you mentioned, therapy, like that's also been a tool for me as well, especially with all of the um trauma and experiences over the past few years. Like I've leaned on that as well, and that kind of not kind of that helped me to work through my feelings and my grief and all of those things to bring me to a point of being clear-headed to be able to write again. You know what I mean? So therapy is a beautiful, beautiful tool. But like you said, it is expensive, but I
yeah.
work in education, so education has been nice to me with insurance and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that is nice. Yeah.
Especially with all of the kids and stuff like that. So it's been nice, beautiful, and very soft with me as far as like insurance coverage and things like that with all of the things, the specialties and all of the specialty doctors and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's working out for you.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. Oh, your comment about poetry needing a purpose.
Hmm.
I really like that sentiment because you're right. Anybody can write a poem, but it takes a certain amount of focus to write like an impactful poem
Hmm. Yes,
or a poem that stirs emotion. And
absolutely.
um, I definitely see the benefit of having giving the poem a purpose other than just sending it out into the world.
Hmm. And it's true. I just again I write from a place of from my experiences. You know, and
Hmm.
I think a lot of us write from a place of experiences and again our own traumas and things that we've been through throughout our lifetimes and stuff. And I've always had the intention of just getting my feelings out and expressing myself. And when I was in college, I always said that I would write my own story. I would write my own memoir because I know it's going to help the next person. Like I always thought about the next person as I was creating, and I do that even more intentionally today. It's like, all right, as I'm writing and creating, obviously it's therapeutic. And with Kiss My Art, with Kiss My Art, and When the Heart Speaks, like I did that obviously with the intention of it being therapeutic and expressing myself and talking about my life and my journey and my grief and all of my hardships. But again, I'm not the only one who grieves. I'm not the only one who grieved. So I'm like, okay, well, I know this is going to help the next person as well. I know my work and my art and my videos and all of the things that I'm doing is helping the next person as well. So I always have that back in the back of my head, you know. I've grown up to be an empath. Like I'm
Hmm.
just empathetic, compassionate. I care for others. I've grown to um, care for myself now more than I care for others. Because when I was coming up and I was creating and forget creating. When I was just living my life, I was just giving to other people, helping. And I was
Mm-hmm.
giving myself, I was putting myself on the back burner. I wasn't really taking care of myself the way that I needed to. And, you know, life was harder for me then. Although I was helping so many other people, I was hitting dead end roads and all of these different roadblocks and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I had to reevaluate my life and reevaluate some things. And I'm like, okay, I took some time away. I went away for a few months, and I said, when I was away for those few months, I had time to kind of breathe and read and reflect and woosah and learn
Mm-hmm.
about myself and all of these beautiful things. And I came to the realization like, okay, this is Tariq taking care of Tariq, and I have to do that for as long as I live. And that's what I've been doing ever since. So um, I prioritize my mental health. I put myself first. Obviously, I'm still compassionate. I'm still empathetic, but I put Tariq first. And when I'm able to help Tariq and be the best version of Tariq, and it's, obviously I don't know everything. I'm still learning and stuff like that, but I try to show up as the best version of myself each and every day. Especially with the family, like I have to be the best version of myself for my family, directly my household with my children and my wife. I have to be the best version of myself and hold the fort down by taking care of myself and knowing that even though I sometimes don't want to be an example, I know that I am an example. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, and just trying to be the best that I can be and inspire along the way. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There is a saying that's you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you do have to
Yep.
take care of yourself. And empaths, especially, I found have a big problem with that because we're all people pleasers, and it
Yeah. Yeah.
almost physically hurts us to put up any kind of a boundary.
1,000%. A thousand
I understand
percent.
that completely.
Yeah. 1,000%, man. I like when I was in college, at Seton Hall doing my undergraduate studies. I was like, I'm from Atlantic City, so I was playing tug of war. Like I'm in college and I'm supposed to be focusing on my studies and doing this, that, and the third, just focusing on my education. But I was playing tug of war with Atlantic City and South Orange at Seton Hall University. And I'm like, I hit a roadblock. I hit a dead end where I remember it was like I think it was finals semester, the finals for all of my classes. It was like the last semester, and I couldn't focus. I just had a lot on my mind, and I wound up passing out. Had to go to the hospital and everything. So I never even told that story before, but here you go. But I
Okay.
passed out. But you made me think of it because you just said the physical wear and tear and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because the mental obviously is important, but the mental will wear down on you physically. And I was so mentally drained just trying to help everybody else but Tariq. And I wound up like passing out and I had to go to the hospital. They did tests. I was dehydrated, stressed, all of these different things. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I had to reevaluate myself, reevaluate what I was doing. And I started figuring things out, slowly but surely. But I kind of figured it out. I'm still figuring it out, but I do know prioritizing yourself, your mental health is at the top.
Yeah, and it's allowed you to make incredible progress both creatively and in your home life.
Yes, 1,000%. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I do not have any more questions. Would you like to read some of your work for us,
Uh,
or speak some of your work for us?
Let me see what poem I want to recite. Give me 1 second. Um, have you heard the album yet? Have you gotten a chance to listen to the album?
I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole album, no.
You heard No Regrets though, correct?
I believe,
That's the one with the video.
yeah, I did look at that one.
Okay. So I think I want to let me see. I think I want to recite something special.
Okay.
And something special is no regrets is a tribute to my mom, but more so about your mental health, taking care of yourself, living life
Mhm.
without regrets and things like that. But um, something special is also a tribute to my mom, but also a tribute to all mothers who carry children and pour so much into children. And um, I'm special because of my mother. We're
Okay.
all special because of our mothers. So something special.
All right. The floor is yours.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I was just saying the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. My anointing can never be duplicated. Through all the trials and tribulations accumulated, this life was made for me, and I promise if you just be yourself, you too can make it. No pump faking, just face it. There's levels to life you can't escape, just embrace it. Time is precious, don't waste it. Elevate yourself. The life you want is waiting, but the life you have is about being gracious. I need to slow down because my mind is racing, but I'm patient. Because life unravels in the most beautiful ways. My destiny I control. Things pan out accordingly. No fates, all faith. Persevere and trust the homie. The journey's a test. You're going to pass, fail, sink, or swim. Relay race to the finish, but the only one I'm competing with is my soul within. But these times were made for me to always win. I'm him. I can't pretend to dim my light to magnify yours. Made to shine so an overcast of clouds can never dictate this storm. I was warned that this wouldn't be easy. Pride, tears of pain, and even more tears of joy. Blood and sweat too. Hard work never lacked. I promised myself to never fold. Angry ways had me going down the wrong path, feelings uncontrolled. I was never told to think before you act, yet I had to learn to take time for myself. Lessons learned, bridges never burned. No handouts, a lot of stuff earned. Grounded because my mama taught me right. A time out to make me think about the choices I made. Without her grace, you never see me shine this bright. A mother's love just has no price. That's why I stand here strong as a reflection of all the women that's done right. To the mothers we lost and the ones we miss, but most importantly, to the women here that still exist. I cherish you forever, but before I enclose this letter with a kiss, one last thing to assure you of this. You planted the seed, so I'ma stay true to my roots, stewing through, sprouting like I was raised to do. But I'm only as special as you made me, and I'ma keep growing because of you. I'm special. Thank you.
Wow, that was so good. And I love how you just the rhythm of the whole thing. It
Thank
flows
you.
so seamlessly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
That's
I definitely get that tribute to motherhood in there.
yes, absolutely. And all the trials and tribulations, stuff like that. All the trials and tribulations and everything like that is just all rooted in where I've come from, where I began, where I started my life, and all of it's rooted in my mother raising me to be the person that I am. So,
Hmm.
yes.
Well,
And
that was
that's my favorite. That's my favorite poem on the album. Probably, I don't know. I go back and forth, but that's my favorite one. I'll
your
say
favorite
that
one
for
tonight.
yeah, exactly. That's my favorite one though. But I love the song though. Like when you hear the song like along with the poem, it's even better. So, but yeah.
Okay.
So please go and listen to the album. It's on Bandcamp. Um, all you gotta do is type my name in. I got some nice merch there with a hoodie, and I have the vinyl, and I have Kiss My Journal, and a lot of cool stuff. But most importantly, I want people to listen to the album. It's very special. Hence the album, the song I'm special, but
Right.
the album itself is it's a special body of work, and I'm truly just trying to get it out there so more people can hear it. So thank you so much for having me on the Present Poetry, Aaron. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And you said everything's on Bandcamp?
Yes, and you can follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. Tariq Tiriq underscore Rashad Rashad.
Okay.
And I pretty much update everybody on what I'm doing. Family family stuff with the kids, music, everything Tariq. So yeah.
All the good pieces, huh?
Yes, absolutely. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so you know, I I try to share as much as I can. It's a weird space, obviously, with social media and everything. So, um, like the following that I've grown, it's amazing. But I've grown to kind of give a side eye to social media because it's a lot of weird stuff that be
Oh,
going on.
I know.
But but I'm trying to use it, and I've used it, but I'm trying to really use it as a tool to propel me to so many other opportunities. So, that's the only reason still on there today. But yeah.
I completely understand, and that's how I feel about it as well. But thank you again so much for coming on the show. I will put all of those links at the bottom of the video so people can click and find you wherever they want to go.
Thank you
And
so
best
much.
of luck with your album.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay connected to me.
All right, I will.
Thank
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Present Poetry Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to like us, leave a review, or share us on social media. If you are a poet or you know someone who is, we would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us or submit your work through our website, which is www.present-poetry.com. Again, that is www.present-poetry.com. We can't wait to hear from you.